taking the time out to talk to us. I mean,
Thank you, sir.
we're quite far away and amazing. I've been following your progress in the last couple of years, and you didn't do anything, and then suddenly you get so busy. You have this back-to-back releases, and people are appreciating the last one that you did, Breathe, the second episode, and such good feedback. I mean, how do you feel about this whole thing now? I mean, what
First
do
of
you
all,
call it?
sir,
Ah,
first of all, I want to thank you for you taking out the time for me, and I'm
wow.
very grateful.
Ah.
And secondly, you can see my expression. I'm kicking and alive. You know,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
it's just there are few things they say we plan, and there are few things God plans.
Okay.
And I'm a firm believer of that. So, and God always has a master plan for you.
Oh, yes,
And
surely.
all you can do is be submitted to it, but walk on the path. So I think all I have done, sir, is I've walked on the path, of life, of hard work, of sincerity. And today I think God is just blessing me. The interview with you is a blessing, and all the audiences that is also loving me and watching my work and saying such good things. These are all blessings.
Okay. Now, first of all, you have Avrodh coming up. Okay. Is it, am I pronouncing it right? Avrodh?
Perfect, sir.
Perfect. Okay. And you play a major, army major in that?
I play a
So,
special forces major in that.
major. Okay. So you want to tell us a
Special
bit
forces.
about your role, the challenges that you had on the role?
Absolutely. So, Michael, sir, the thing is, so um, there's a huge distinction. There's a huge difference between army and special forces. Army is
Okay.
very regimented. There's a certain course. There's a certain command that goes into an army, and then when two countries or two borders are at crossfire, there's a certain decorum. Special forces is everybody in the world has special forces. In India, our special forces also are like one of the best in the world. And uh, we all know what happened at Uri attacks. Mike Tango, and some other Mike Tangos. There's a group of people who went and did a mission for India where they eliminated a number of terrorists in the enemy land. Um, so to become Mike Tango, to kind of feel uh, the kind of valor, the kind of strength, the kind of mental ability these people have, is something which I just wanted to touch to a very minuscule, minute level. I just thought when I started training for this, I said this to myself and all people who are training me that even if I can get 1% feeling of the strength, of the fallibility, of the mental ability, or the sharpness required for special forces, and that would be uh, a huge bonus for me to be authentic playing Mike Tango. I don't know whether I've achieved 1%, but I'm definitely sure we achieved 0.0001% of all that. And all I can say, sir, is that a lot of sweat and blood has gone into becoming, thank you, into becoming Mike Tango.
And what kind of training did you do, Amit, for the role?
So, sir, one of the most interesting things about Avrodh and my becoming Mike Tango is that I have been trained to do this part since the day I was born. I've been raised in a military environment. I went to an army British, like an army school where we would march past for lunch and dinner. I went to La Martiniere, and when we marched for dinner, and when the thumb or the halt wasn't correct, we didn't get dinner. We got PD. We got a punishment drill. So then I went to all the camps, CATC camp, pre-RD camps. Luckily, also, I come from a school which kind of trained us as soldiers. My father trained me as a soldier. So um, I just think that when most kids today, they're playing Xboxes and, they're playing football on Xbox. Um, we had a very physically led life, and weekends we would do march past. Republic Day, we would do march past. We would do guard of honor, salami shastra with 303s. So I just feel that when
That
somebody
helped
asks
you
me,
in
how
your
did you?
role?
Yes, yes, a big time. But again, in addition, I think one big credit I really want to mention when I talk about Avrodh is a huge credit, sir, goes to uh, our the book that it is from.
Mhm.
Rahul and Shiv. I think they've made an amazing. I've read that book personally. I've read both the parts of India's Most Fearless, part one and part two. This is from part one, and this is one of the chapters from the book, one of the missions. And also our writers, Sudeep, my producer Samar Khan, I think they've adapted it very well. So it was laid down. I knew that I had to become Mike Tango. There was a certain physicality for which my trainer, uh, Rakesh Udekar, he trained me. A
Mhm.
lot of people trained me in the weapon, how to handle your weapon, and this the special forces terminology, 6 o'clock, how they are, how. So we've tried. I don't want to bore you with what all we've done. I just hope that when you
Mhm.
see it, when the world sees it, I just hope that they see our hard work and the kind of minute things that we've brought by research and intent.
Okay. Amit, obviously, once your movie comes out, people are going to compare it with Vicky Kaushal's Yuri, right? So, what's your take? Will it affect you if I'm not saying that, I'm not saying yes or no whether the series is good, bad, or whatever. But how have you prepared for it, kind of, in case people compare it?
So actually, when you go on a mission, when you go to work, I'm saying as a principle of mine, for me, becoming Mike Tango, becoming my part, and making Avrodh with my collaborators. At that time, I don't think about anything. I don't think about comparisons. For me, the biggest thing is I hope when the when army watches it, I hope special forces or a Mike Tango or people from armed forces or people from the defense, because this is a political drama. I just hope they like it, they feel proud, and they feel that what, these people have really um, put in work and research and brought something authentic. I also want, because this is not a documentary, I also want the youth, the young girls and the young boys of India, when they watch this, we've tried it. We've tried to keep it aspirational. We want this to be very aspirational. Coming back to Uri, sir. So it was a great film. It is done very well. But here the format is different. Another thing that I want to tell you is that I'm a huge fan of Vicky. He's a good friend. He's done a great job. He's an amazing actor. If you ask me what I want, I would want him to watch. I would want his approval as well. I would love to have Vicky's stamp on it, say that, what, good, well done, guys. You know, and when it comes to the audience, I just think the audience of the world, of the country, and Indian audiences everywhere in the world, I think they've evolved. They know this is a web series. They understand that we're trying to kind of open the loop and bring more than the mission, show you the political scenario, the bunker room war policies, and the bureaucracy that goes behind, and how uh, you actually go to war or how you do a mission. So I'm very sure that they will give this Avrodh its due by watching it, and then of course I'm ready to stand and whichever ways this goes. I hope it goes north, but we'll have to wait and watch.
When you say it's a different treatment, like, I mean, different in what way? It's the same story,
So
right?
yeah, so what happens is, in a movie you only get 2 hours, so you have to that's the kind of structure our movies made. So in 2 hours you can only show the mission. Because this is 9 episodes and you have 4.5 hours, you can show uh, uh, the documentation of the storytelling, the narrative can be stretched. You can show more collaborators. So if you go on war, my uncle was a war specialist in the Indian Army. So, it's like, but there's a whole strategic positioning, there's a whole strategic, uh, you can call like the bunker room war group. That's why I call Avrodh it's a political drama. It's a political war series. So because we have more time, we can show more characters who are important characters, which I think in the movie, because movie is 100 and like less time, it's 120 minutes. I just think you don't get that much time to show other aspects. So I think that's one thing which is a plus point of Avrodh being a series. And I hope
Mhm.
people find that, I hope people find and associate with other characters, which are very important. And they were very important when it comes to the Uri attacks.
And what about Yara? Yara, Yarana, Yara.
Yada, yada, yada.
You want to tell us a bit about that? I mean, is it something like the Hrithik Roshan and um,
Zindagi
uh,
milegi na dobara.
Begin is it similar kind of feel?
So that's one of my favorite films. I really like that film. It's a very, very cute film, made by one of my favorite producers and group of people that I know. No, so this movie is set in 70s. This has a little bit of how 70s in India, people going to colleges, they had an opinion, they were ready to, एक विवाद था, uh, uh, एक there was a revolution. The youth had a revolution in 70s, and there were bell bottoms, and there was music, there was art, there was rock and roll. So this is all about like these aspects that were in the Indian universities and colleges, in small cities. And then this is a story of a set of four boys who are orphans, who don't have, who get a godfather who's like a small time criminal, and how these four boys doing small petty crime, they eventually become like, they become the king of the game. And then it's a story of friendship and how uh, their friendship kind of um, grows from 25. You also see us play 45, and what transpires between friends, in a journey of 30, 40, 50 years is what Yara is about.
Oh, okay, amazing. Okay, now when you take up movie projects, do you have a plan in mind, or you just take it as it comes? Or like some people plan, ठीक है मुझे ये करना है, मुझे वो करना है, and I need to do this. What about you? How do you work your kind
So many years of trying and planning, I've realized I'm the worst planner. That's
of
why and then I found that I agree with this statement that God plans, you know. So I just do my hard work. I just think you have to be lucky. You have to be fortunate to get good roles, to get to work with good people. I think I've been very fortunate that I've got some great parts, and I got an opportunity to work with some amazing people. But if I tell you, sir, that I've planned all this or I have done all this, I'll be lying. I just think I'm just fortunate. What I do is, for which that I'm proud of, that I give 100%. I give 1,000% to everything I do. So if I'm doing this interview with you, it's 1,000%. That's one thing that I think is good in me. So I won't undermine myself as well. But I really think that I'm very, very fortunate.
Um, Amit, you seem pretty sorted out, kind of. You've accepted things, and you've accepted fate. You worked hard to be where you are. You didn't sort of chase stardom. You've been, but now this new thing that's going on, that you need to be mentally tough to be in Bollywood. Do you really
Is that
think
a
that?
new thing?
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
okay, fine,
Really?
fine. Let's say it's been happening, but earlier it was not an issue, but now it's become an issue. Like, there's so many things happening around. They say, no, I mean, mental strength is where it counts. So, I mean, what's your take on this?
So I wouldn't just talk about movie industry. Okay. Movie industry is a tough place to survive. Agreed. But I just want to talk about this as a individual, as a separate entity. Health, mental health, a strong society. Uh, these are aspects of a good country. These are aspects of a blossoming, growing, educated country. These issues are coming up. We are talking. Sometimes we are a little astray. Sometimes we are on point. It's a revolution. It's a new revolution. We will learn how to talk better. We will learn how to communicate better. We will find tools of mental health. It's a phenomena. It's a global phenomena. It's a problem in India, which we need to identify. I don't want to bring industry and people into it. Yes, it is a tough industry, but I would like to just add that life is tough. So it's not just that we as actors or artists or film industry is struggling. If you go out 40 kilometers out of Bombay and you see, then you'll actually know what real struggle is, what people are going through. So as a whole, I'm not bothered about the struggles of the industry. You know, when you go to a job, when you take a job, I worked in Pizza Hut. It was a struggle for 1 week because they would teach you pizza, what time a pizza has to come, in how many times you have to greet the customer, in how many seconds you have to bring Pepsi. I would forget. It was a struggle. So I think everybody is struggling. What follow through we can get from all this revolution and from these people who are, some people are heading in a headless direction, just angry. But we got to have compassion and understanding for them as well. So I just hope that from here, the leaders, people of importance, people who have a strong impact on the society, who have the right words, who have the right vision, can guide us. And collectively, as human beings, as people, we can support each other and be gentle to each other. You know, so that's my take on this at this point.
At this point, would you think that there is a solution to this, or it is just one of those things that just stays and you just live with it and go on?
I think that's bad attitude. I think anyone who thinks like this, that, you know, just let it be and don't say anything, don't do anything, apna kya ja raha hai, I think that's wrong attitude. You know, I think we need to go back to moral science books when we were in school, what we were
Yes.
taught. We need to learn all that and imply that, because only that will give happiness. You know, only that will cultivate new thoughts. And once again, it'll be cool to be good. It'll be cool to be gentle. It'll be cool to be nice and respectful and thankful and grateful. And so definitely, sir. And it is happening at some. I mean, I've been interacting with a lot of fans and friends and colleagues because of my releases, and I do spend a lot of time with audiences and fans online. We are great people. We are amazing people. I'll give you a small example, sir. There was some person who created a fan account, and they named it the AmitSadh team. And then they started interacting with that on some issues which are very personal and touchy topics. And they started putting things on my behalf. And I reprimanded that person. Didn't abuse, didn't anything. I reprimanded. I told my team, be nice, be gentle. Just tell them they're doing wrong. So I got a mail from that person that, sir, I apologize. Yes. Sir, I apologize that I went wrong. I just wanted to be your fan and I wanted to open a fan page. And you're right. By calling it Team Amit, we are misleading people and they will think it's voice and things can get miscommunicated. We apologize. And then that person, what I did then, sir, I used to ask that person, you send me your Instagram, you send me your Twitter account. And I'm following that person now.
Wow.
So there's a way to rectify things. There's a way to rectify you. And why I know it? I want to tell you this because you've asked me this. I will tell you this. So when I was young, if I ever did a mistake, they went after me. My seniors fought with me. People who are older than me fought with me. When a youngster, when somebody does a mistake, depending on the gravity of the mistake, you rectify the mistake. You don't go after the person and butcher the person that person can never even stand and walk. So I have very, very strong views about these things. I try to implement them in my life. I would try to implement with the people I work at my workplace, at my personal space. But these are the times, coming back to your question, you can't just keep quiet. You just can't say that, you know what, I'm going to let this pass. Because if you let this pass, it's going to come and hit you too.
Oh, yes, sure. Do you worry a lot, Amit?
Nothing.
Because I just saw you have worry beads in your hand.
No, no, no. So that's my content. I have a character I play in Breathe called Kabir Sawant.
Okay.
So this is Kabir
Yeah.
Sawant's prop. So ये Kabir
Wow.
Sawant का prop
And,
है.
and is that your lucky charm?
Kabir's lucky charm. And I want to answer your question, sir. I don't
Ah.
have a worry beat because I pray.
Oh, that's nice.
There's
Wonderful.
no worry, sir. Any worry, I just pray. I go to my God and I say, solve it or find me a new way.
Fantastic. Amit, I think that's the way to go. And I wish you all the best for
Thank you, sir.
your series. And I think you're doing an amazing job. You're being liked by people. So keep on going.
It's a blessing.
And
It's a blessing.
there's nothing to worry.
And I'll be
That's
very selfish, sir. Avrodh means the world to me, and a lot of people know it. I'm very vocal about my emotions and feelings. So please pray for me. Please give me your blessings. Avrodh is the most serious. Like Avrodh means like I can't even emphasize. So please pray for me. Please pray that it does well.
definitely. And what's your message for fans in Dubai?
I think Dubai has the coolest people, you know, and I've not been to Dubai, but one day I would like to come and meet all of you, meet even the people who don't know me, and be safe. I hope things are better, and have faith. And right now, I'm not going to say please watch my Avrodh because there are far more serious issues in life. Right now, my only message is be safe, smile, and I'm sending you a lot of love.
Thank you, Amit. Pleasure talking to
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Have a lovely day, sir.
Yeah,
Bye, sir.
you too.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.